I do all of my work with power utilities in generation, across technologies, thermal generation, renewable generation, in operational programs, operational efficiency, production, maintenance, CapEx, commissioning. Also some electric transmission work, transmission distribution. So I'm a power guy, if you want. I'm very happy to be here. I have done similar diagnostics around the world with clients in South Africa, for instance, in the US, and also in the Middle East. This is my first time to Indonesia, so thank you very much for having me. I'm very much looking forward to the next 1.5 days, to the discussions, and let's leave it here.
Maybe if I can continue, I also want to express gratitude. Thank you to teman-teman dari Divareska, DKUKI, dan Engineering for coming to this meeting. We're supported by many individuals for this work stream, and it doesn't just entail coal diagnostics. Our work stream is called PLN Generation Master Plan 2.0, and what it includes is 3 main pillars. The first one is digitalize. So this one is focused on how do we gather data and conduct digital and analytics on those different informations. Second is decarbonize, and this is focused on how do we develop a flexible and resilient generation portfolio to meet Indonesia's sustainability aspiration. Thirdly is called decentralize, and across all 3 pillars we're focused on helping Dear Advocate to also unlock value from the next S-curve of growth in generation and from different subholdings. For this effort, we're focused on pillar number 2, which is decarbonize, and here we're focusing on specifically part C. So again, this is one part in a larger effort, which is to enable efficient, sustainable, and resilient generation mix by improving our flexibility of our generation assets. For this diagnostic for today and tomorrow, we are focused on answering 3 main questions. The first is, what parameters of flexibility are important for Python? Kedua, secondly, what flexibilization levers? Also, what flexibility improvement opportunities can we use to improve these parameters? Ketiga, what is the feasibility, potential impact, and risks/interdependencies of implementing these prioritized levers? So, mungkin sebelum saya lanjutkan diskusinya, mungkin bagus kalau saya sampaikan apa itu definisi flexibility. What is the definition of flexibility? So, when we define flexibility, there are 5 main parameters. The first, A, is minimum downtime. What is the minimum time the plant must be kept off after it is shut down? The second parameter for flexibility is called minimum uptime. This is the duration that the unit must be kept on after it is started up. The third, fourth, and fifth are maybe the most important, I think, when we discuss flexibility. The third is said minimum load. So this is the level where you do not need minyak or auxiliary fuel, highest. The fourth is startup time, so how fast can the unit start up, and this includes cold, warm, and hot starts. And the last parameter of flexibility is ramp rate. So how many megawatts per minute from your nominal load of 400 can you ramp up per minute and ramp down per minute. So these are the 5 parameters whenever we think about flexibility. This is what we're talking about. And this diagnostic is focused on units 2 mostly, and I think Simon can give some explanation about why this is important.
Yeah, thanks, Albert. If I may add just a couple of thoughts, because you might think, hey, why are we actually doing flexibility? This is a coal plant. It's a base load plant. It should run base load. End of the story. Yeah. This might be true in the past. It's not going to be true in the future. Wolfgang and myself, we are from Germany. We have a lot of renewable generation capacity in the system. More than half of the capacity is renewable generation with very volatile generation footprint. So the dispatchable capacity, such as coal, actually needs to accommodate that flexibility to keep the system and the frequencies stable in the system. So the coal plants that we have in Germany, for instance, some of them cycle more than 200 times a year. Almost four startups every week. Now, is that good? Different question. Are they designed for this? No, they are not. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. In Indonesia, it's a different story. Renewable generation, it's much smaller still. It will come in the future. But right now, it's much smaller. However, there is a big value in flexibility. When we look at the overall system and the overall market design, we actually, through flexibility in our core assets, we can optimize the system, the generation footprint of the entire company,
tapi sekedar bikin program kadang
reducing the overall system cost.
aplikasinya katanya masih nggak
If our coal
bengkal
plants are more
masih ada
flexible,
itu
we can
masih
actually suppress
mas RSK
gas-fired
pun dia mau
generation.
PHP
We
bukan
can
sekalian
accommodate
PHP
the
RSK
flexibility that the system needs with our coal reactors instead of the gas power plants, and therefore decrease the overall system cost. So even when the renewables is still growing in Indonesia, and it's not that much undispatchable renewable volatile generation capacity yet, it is always good to have flexibility in our dispatchable capacity in the system. And that's why we look into this. So it's basically a lever to reduce overall system costs in the generation.
So that was some of the reasons why flexibility is important for Python and for all the in general. As
Baterai sudah terisi penuh.
increases, this
Lanjut,
flexibility, your ability to ramp up, to operate at a lower minimum load safely is going to be important. So what are we going to do? What have we done? So what we did first was looked at your existing data. So thank you to the site team for preparing all of this data. We know it was a lot. But here we want to look at your minimum load, how often you oscillate, and what your current performance is. So here, for example, we can see that the minimum load is about 250. That's about the minimum load. And here I can give a little bit of context. Yesterday and 2 days ago, we were at Suralaya. Suralaya focused on unit number 1. And we actually saw for them, they would dip a lot lower, and their minimum load was also lower. However, it was not on purpose. It was because there were some issues with their mill. So this looks quite stable, and so this looks very good. However, we want to discuss as well scrap rate. So this is a histogram, it's a chart about what is your scrap rate frequency. So for example,
lagi tambahan
0 to 0.1%, and based off of the plant's specifications, the scrap rate should be 3 megawatts per minute, which is 0.75 of your nominal capacity of 400. So we see actually that it's very rare, lumayan jarang, that you ramp at this rate. And so this is something that we also want to potentially discuss further, why it's not more frequent, if it's maybe not needed, or if maybe there is some limitation with the plant's performance. So maybe to continue, what are we going to do in our different interviews? What we made here is something called an issue tree. It has many different questions. And the questions here are containing 4 buckets, and they focus on why is there a challenge, why is there an obstacle to improving flexibility. So if we want to ask, there are 4 main categories when you look at minimum load. The first is maybe there's a problem or obstacle with control system. Second, maybe there is challenge with combustion and fuel handling system, so coal mill, coal feed. Third is maybe there's system limitation with the turbine. And then lastly, there's potential environmental and emission impact. So we did diagnostic on Suralaya, and we're going to do diagnostic on Python today. Why? Because we want to develop a methodology to do flexibility diagnostic. So maybe I'll say a little bit in Indonesian. Diagnostik yang kami ingin lakukan hari ini dan besok
Sehat.
untuk membuat flexibility diagnostic capability.
Kan awalnya sih bener. Iya kontennya ambil Pak Mia. Seru. Dewe akan ini setengah. Mobil kita ini.
Namun ada kemungkinan skenario yang kita perlu dilakukan sekarang mungkin di masa depan, dan lagi teknologi yang kita membuat bisa berguna untuk lain-lain dan beberapa. Oleh karena itu, we express thank you for letting us have a test and have a diagnostic at this time. Kemudian, we have some ideas of different levels, right? How do we improve flexibility? So these are a few examples of retrofitting options. Also, these are options that have already been done. And so these are some examples where these levers have been implemented. So for example, we have indirect firing. What is indirect firing? Indirect firing helps to lower your minimum load. And also, the way that we do it is by setting up a dust buffer between your whole mill and the burner. So this is how you improve minimum load using indirect firing. Also, what is the impact? The impact from this that we saw in example is 25 to 30% in load. Jadi, it is lower to 10%. So that's more than 100% in load. It's quite high. And we also have some other ideas. However, these levers that are applicable in Drax and now in EF and Onic, not necessarily applicable here. Belum tentu applicable di sini. Kenapa? Kita harus lihat dua dimensi. Yang pertama, yang mana ada dampak impact yang besar, dan lagi lever yang mana itu feasible. Di sini kita bisa lihat there are 9 boxes, right? Yang mana itu paling sulit, yang mana impactnya paling besar. Nah, dari sini kita ada 4. Tapi rencananya di diagnostic ini, we hope to get more ideas, more levers, not just this 4. Yang mana paling top, which one is most relevant for our company. Now, in Suralaya, we already had 11 ideas that is more relevant than this one. It's because impact is higher, feasibility is much more easy in Suralaya for the ideas that we have. Not useful. So, what is the impact? Right, so it's still estimate, but we expect it to improve, right? More than 10% improvement for the minimum load. Why? If I can share a little bit, right now their coal quality is suffering, not good because of the rain, very frequently, and it's not protected by any road. Yeah. All that can we do because of that? There is frequent clogging, frequent blockage of the coal mill every day. Every day, setiap hari ada satu mill yang clogging. So, what we hope to do is develop some levers, some idea together, and also from our experts. And then kita bisa petakan, kita bisa taruh di matrix ini yang mana paling feasible, dan impactnya paling besar itu. Itu rencananya. Nah, mungkin di dalam 2 hari kita mungkin tidak bisa cost estimasi yang very detailed, tapi we can get some initial high-level idea. So how do we achieve this? Kita mau lakukan ini bagaimana? Ini kita punya set agenda. Mungkin setelah set visit kick-off ini, kita mau lakukan part tour and operational overview. Yang penting di sini kita mulai dari full stock field dan lanjut ke all of the downstream operational systems to look at what are the problems, tantangannya apa. Selain itu, yang ini warnanya yang biru are all the different interviews that we want to do. So, more than just looking at the data, in addition to looking at the data, we want to interview plant manager, maintenance supervisor, engineering manager, operations manager, in order to know tantangan saat ini, challenges right now, yang apa aja. Daripada cuma lihat data yang actually available. Kemudian, untuk besok, yang mungkin berguna itu adalah focus group discussion atau workshop. Nah, di sini kita mau setengah atau 2 jam untuk gather in this room and brainstorming. What ideas do we have to improve flexibility? And let us all agree on what is feasible and what is the people who know the conditions happening of the machines is the engineers. It's not us. We can ask only so many questions. And so here we want to put on the matrix which one is feasible, which one is highest impact. Dan lagi, mungkin di hari dua kita juga ada beberapa masuk interview. So maybe some efficiency engineers, some relations engineers, and then mungkin jam 1 besok, maybe Pak Kini dan Pak time, we will give final brief of our findings. Sebelum teman-teman akan mungkin sekian dengan saya. Thank you again for your time for today's session. Terima kasih. Jadi, team have continue. Hopefully we can do our site tour after this. And we can continue to some interviews. Pemi itu yang tidak saya punya operasionalnya. Kalau semakin lama saya kurang apa ya. Kalau efisiensi dapat oke lah. Itu mendukung sistem saya. Tapi selama ini kan masih cukup ya. Sistem ini tidak ada tambang pembangkit, geologi, terus dari jadi acuan potensi pada penambahan apa itu pelanggan di sini kan masih bisa. Dan tinggal di ini saya seperti itu. Beda sama skala ya, ini banyak tempat di sana tidak membuka skala ya.
Jadi kemarin sebenarnya festival ini kan suatu keniscayaan. Tapi kalau muncul independensi yang jumlahnya sangat masif sekali, festival itu sangat berbeda. Nah, sebenarnya untuk festival ini itu jenisnya ada bisa dipakai PLTU, bisa dipakai PLTU dan lain sebagainya. Kita untuk yang kriteria, jadi kita pertama kali adalah tujuannya adalah kita ingin mengubah PLTU yang kemungkinan besar nanti kedepannya itu ada PPI untuk termodernisasi. Nah, untuk kajian ini, untuk kajian dalam waktu dekat, untuk apa? Untuk aplikasi atau implementasi dalam waktu dekat, kita sudah membuat kriteria kira-kira mana yang akan difestivalkan. Nanti kita tidak membuat pembangkit baru, tapi kita meretrofit pembangkit timur yang festival ini dan misalnya ada beberapa kriteria kemarin salah satunya adalah umur dan lain sebagainya. Mungkin salah satunya nanti adalah pembangkitkan ya. Akhirnya muncul pembangkit-pembangkitnya. Pertama kali kita pilih sistemnya dulu. Kita putuskan mana sistemnya Jamali ya. Jamali, bukan sistem yang lain. Terus kemudian pembangkitnya itu paling ada beberapa kriteria. Salah satunya adalah ekonomi lifetime, umur dan lain sebagainya. Akhirnya muncul PLTU Python 2 ya, yaitu Python 2 sama Suralaya Unit 1. Ya bukan PMP gitu ya, salah satunya memang untuk Python Unit 2 ini salah satu perencanaan kedepannya itu adalah salah satu adalah PKN 100%. Karena alasannya sebenarnya Python 1.2 ini kan yang ekonomi levelnya sudah tercapai. Ini sebenarnya Python 1.2 ini dikatakan diskus daripada diskus waktu itu dari yang sendiri waktu itu ya. Itu menyatakan ini lebih untuk Python 1.2 ini PKN 100% ya daripada diskus. Itu suatu perencanaan yang salah satu skenario kan itu. Skenario kedua bisa jadi untuk Python yang di 2 ini mau kita menjadi flexible generation. Baik. Kalau untuk yang sekarang ini, kalau untuk kita implementasikan flexible generation dalam waktu dekat ini mungkin zaman itu belum membutuhkan. Tetapi kemarin ketika kita diskusi dengan teman-teman RSL, teman-teman dari perencanaan sistem listrikan di PLN korporat itu menyatakan bahwa besar tahun 2028 itu nanti renewable energy yang intermittency itu akan masuk sangat masif sekali. Jadi kemungkinan besar yang menjadi baseload atau primadona di tahun 2028 dan seterusnya adalah PLTU, tidak lagi PLTU. Nah, makanya salah satunya PLTU ini salah satu skenario ya. Ini kita untuk implementasi ini masih dari skenario. Makanya salah satunya adalah untuk PLTU ini daripada didispose, alangkah baiknya kita memanfaatkan untuk bisa menjadi fleksibel. Salah satunya seperti itu, Pak. Jadi memang ini apakah nanti PAECON 2 akan diimplementasikan fleksibel, ya kita akan kaji lebih dalam. Nanti kita juga akan komunikasi. Soalnya kalau kita mau mengubah PAECON 2 ini menjadi fleksibel, itu kita harus konsultasi juga atau langsung diskusi juga nanti dari perencanaan sistem RSL. Apakah kira-kira kapan kita mulai menginisiasi flexible generation? Kapan kira-kira flexible generation masuk COD gitu ya? COD ini kapan dan kapan kita mulai konstruksi dan lain sebagainya? Maaf, retrofit masih gitu ya? Retrofit ya, bukan konstruksi. Soalnya untuk konstruksi PLTU sudah digunakan. Mungkin seperti itu Pak, alasannya kenapa PAECON 2 dipilih. Mungkin memang tidak dalam waktu dekat gitu ya, tapi ini kedepannya dan makanya kita udah mulai siap-siap inisiasi. Selain itu memang ini ada sedikit politik politik itu yang kita ketahui bahwa selama ini dari kementerian itu selalu menanyakan keseriusan dari PLN dalam hal transformasi NZP dalam hal NZP. Kita dari PLN selalu menyatakan bahwa kita upaya terus Pak, tunjukkan keseriusannya. Padahal salah satunya skenario adalah fleksibel. Nah, dengan adanya fleksibel kita udah jelas, kita udah jadi pilot projectnya adalah PAECON 2 dari Surabaya dan kajiannya seperti ini, kajian teknik finansialnya seperti ini, mungkin itu menjadi salah satu indikator bahwa kita serius juga. Oke, mungkin seperti itu Pak Mustafa.
Baik, terima kasih. Untuk selanjutnya itu adalah kegiatan self visit yang nantinya akan didampingi oleh para rekan Python. Untuk itu saya Fadila selaku MC pada pagi hari ini pamit undur diri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The agenda shows the forum visit after lunch. If it's easier for you, we can also combine the plan to the We are flexible.
Sekalian muter-muter ini ya.